People, and welcome back to Gav Goes In. Guys, listen up. Big up yourselves for coming through each and every time. But you know what? I'm not here for no shit today, man. I am fucking fed up with this manager, And big up to Lumi Rain, big up to Nubis Kubis. Big up, guys, for coming through. But you know what? I am well and truly pissed off with this manager, And guys, I did say before the start of the season, I was giving this manager 5 games until, even though last season for me it was too much and he needed to go. This season I said, you know what, 5 games, let's see what he does in the 5 games. Pre-season, obviously summer series, beating the likes of Everton, and West Ham. No, sorry, was it West Ham and Bournemouth, wasn't it? Sorry, beating West Ham and Bournemouth, and then obviously drawing, I think, with Everton. And then, United win the summer series. Obviously, first game of the season against Arsenal. A lot of fans getting carried away saying, United played well, but were unlucky to get beat, And then we come into this game. And for me, guys, you know what it is? At the end of the day, I'm at the point now with this manager where I'm actually quite satisfied that United didn't win this game. Because if United would have won this game, it would have been another game of United getting lucky yet again. First off, to be honest with you, Cunha, top player, and Cunha's going to be special, man, for this football club. And the goal that he nearly scored, where he brought it down from Bayinder's kick, and obviously the keeper saved it. Again, there was touches of brilliance from Cunha, so there is positives with this team. The likes of Cunha, Mbeumo for me will get better. Lenny Yoro, Matthias de Ligt, for me, when them two playing, I got no worries at all, And again, there are positives, but I have to say, this manager, his love for certain players is going to be the problem for this manager. This is why this manager is not going to succeed at this club, because he fails to identify who the better players are, who are the most talented players. And the problem is with this manager, he's fucking stubborn. And I'm sick of it, Guys, I will get back to your questions and to your comments after. But yeah, I've got to vent this because I see this coming. And I said at the start of the season, he's got 5 games for me, and I expect at least 2 to 3 wins, But a lot of that was dependent on the Arsenal game. I said if Arsenal beat United, if United draw with Arsenal, should I say, then a point against Fulham is not too bad. But that means you have to go and beat Burnley and then get positive results against City and Chelsea. How it stands right now for me, guys, is that the fact that he's been beat by Arsenal and got a point against Fulham, and let's not get away from it, yeah? Bruno Fernandes, who we're going to get onto in a bit, missed the penalty. Matthias Cunha, hit the post, brought one down, had a great save from the keeper. Well, I say great save. He probably should have finished it, but the touch was class, and then the keeper saved it. And then United's goal comes from, it comes from an actual foul. I'm not one of these fans that are just going to be blinded to the fact that, Lenny Yoro scored. Well, it wasn't Yoro's goal, it was an own goal in the end. But Lenny Yoro actually fouled Bassi. If you look at what he done, he pushed Bassi in the back, which meant that he was allowed to get the header. And again, these are the things with these officials. These officials they're hit and miss, a lot of these officials. You're giving a foul on Bassi for the foul on Mason Mount, fair enough. But then the one where he gets pushed into the back by Lenny Yoro, which was clear, it's like, you're giving that as a goal. And, and again, another game where this team fails to create clear-cut opportunities. And as I said, guys, I am well and truly fed up with this manager. 1 point from 2 games. And now, for me, he has to go and win these next 3 games. And this is why I'm quite excited, because there's going to be no hiding now for this manager. At home to Burnley, we expect United to beat Burnley at home, if we're honest. But you have to go and beat Man City and Chelsea for me now. Because I said he has to get at least 7 to 8 points in these 5 games. To think that he's got 1 point from 2. Burnley, if you win that 4, he would have to go and beat both City and Chelsea for me to be safe in his job. And you know what? I knew it was going to come to this because too many fans were too excited over the first game against Arsenal, saying, look how well United played. They were unlucky. If we can carry this on to the next game. All that load of shit that I just can't stand hearing. And to be honest with you, you know, this manager has himself to blame because it's an absolute disgrace the way this manager's managing his team. It's an absolute disgrace the certain players he's playing. And he's getting his just rewards. And you know what? Fucking good. The fact that United drew this game, you know, was possibly, it was justice for what happened. Because again, the goal by the own goal, which Lenny Yoro headed on to Rodrigo Muniz, wasn't a goal. It was a foul, you know. But again, I'm not going to dwell on that because, you know, these things happen all the time. But the fact that this manager brings on Harry Maguire, and obviously Aiden Heaven coming on as well. He's bringing on Harry Maguire because Harry Maguire is an aerial threat. So for me, if Harry Maguire would have scored from the corner like he almost did, as a Man United fan, can you be happy if that was to happen? Because I'm looking at this as an absolute disgrace. This manager's meant to be showing something this season, and I don't see nothing. I'm just seeing more of the same old shit. I'm seeing better players, the likes of Cunha and Mbeumo coming to the club. And yeah, they are going to take the quality up, but that's just obvious. But I'm looking at the likes of Amad Diallo. Amad Diallo is one of Man United's best players, one of their best players from last season. He has now been reduced to a bench role or coming off the pitch because his fucking manager wants to play Diogo Dalot. You know, can you see what's going on, guys? Like, it's an absolute piss take what this manager's doing to this club. You know, to think that Kobbie Mainoo, yeah, as I said, guys, as long as Bruno Fernandes keeps playing and is at this club, Kobbie Mainoo is getting no game time. He's getting no game time. I keep saying this. And the fact that this manager is in love with Mason Mount and he takes Casemiro off, drops Mason Mount alongside Bruno Fernandes in central midfield, and people are going to be okay with that. This is what I'm trying to tell you. We can't even see Kobbie Mainoo get on this pitch because Bruno Fernandes is there. But to think that this manager's got the cheek to take off Casemiro and drop Mason Mount because he desperately wants to play Mason Mount, but he's playing Mason Mount central midfield with Bruno Fernandes because this manager is incapable of taking off Bruno Fernandes. He can't take off Mbeumo and Cunha because, again, they're new signings. So he's got to justify bringing on Sesko. So that means Amad becomes the fall guy because Dalot comes on. Mason Mount will eventually come off because he wants to bring on Ugarte to be a bit more defensive. And obviously that means Casemiro's got to come off. So again, I'm fed up of this. I'm fed up of this manager. I'm fed up of a lot of these players. And the fact that Bruno Fernandes missed that penalty, yeah. And again, there was a bit in the game where I'm not sure if a lot of fans actually noticed this, yeah. But there was a bit in the game where Bruno was too busy, and he does this every game, guys, by the way. Bruno was too busy trying to tell people where to run. And then I think it might have been Lukic or Sander Bergs or someone actually intercepted the pass from Bruno, took it off his feet because Bruno is too busy trying to tell people where to run as if he's the best player that's ever played for this club. The whole thing's a fucking joke, and this manager keeps this player on for the entirety of the game. It's a fucking disgrace. You know, I don't think I've ever sworn so much on a stream because I'm well and truly fed up of this manager. This manager is destroying this club. He's destroying the club. Kobbie Mainoo is just any player now. He's any player. You know, the fact that Kobbie can't even get game time, yeah, as shit as this team is an absolute disgrace in itself. You know, and as I said, as long as Bruno Fernandes is there, Kobbie's not getting any game time. But did I think this manager would drop Mason Mount to play alongside Bruno in central midfield in the Premier League? Never did I think I'll see that. You know, this manager is taking the absolute piss with his team. He's taking the piss. Because you don't take off Casemiro to drop Mason Mount alongside Bruno Fernandes. Two players that are not actual central midfielders. Especially not in the two in this league. You know, so if Kobbie can't play there alongside Bruno, why the fuck does this manager think that Mason Mount can? Disgrace. This manager's an absolute disgrace. But guys, big up yourselves. I'm going to go through your comments anyway. But I had to get it off my chest, but I'm going to go through some of your comments, and then we're going to go through team selection. We're going to go through the player ratings, and we're going to go through some players as well. Big up to Lumi. Lumi says, another good game for Cunha and Mbeumo, but the lack of goals is getting worrying now. Yeah, listen, Cunha and Mbeumo, as I said, they have definitely upped the quality with this team. You know, I'm happy with Bruno. I'm happy with Cunha and Mbeumo, definitely. You know, but the problem that's been created now with Cunha and Mbeumo is that when you've got Bruno Fernandes who doesn't come off, and then you've got Cunha and Mbeumo who really are the new signings and can't come off either, you're juggling around with certain players now, which happens now to be that Amad Diallo is not really going to get a full game. Because if you look at that bench, Joshua Zirkzee doesn't even come on. Kobbie Mainoo doesn't even come on. He brings Ugarte on, but Ugarte comes on for Mason Mount because Mason Mount stays on the pitch because Casemiro comes off. Yeah? So again, if he was to bring on Sesko, and guys, I said this the other day. If you guys seen my stream from the other day, I mentioned this, and I knew this is actually going to happen. You know, I said this game will end 1-1 as well. But I said to you guys that this manager has a problem because there's certain players that has to play or in his eyes can't come off the pitch, you know. And this is why I want Carlos Baleba. Not only is Carlos Baleba a top player, you know, and he's one of the best midfield players in the Premier League and up and coming, he's now going to create a problem for this manager, which is why I want him in. Because if Baleba comes into this team, there's no sort of Baleba on the bench. Baleba starts, and it means now he's going to have a problem with Bruno Fernandes. Because if you keep trying to shoehorn Bruno Fernandes into this team, you're now going to have a Casemiro on the bench who's on 350. You're going to have Kobbie Mainoo from the youth, a youth academy player, on the bench. Manuel Ugarte costs 60 million. Benjamin Sesko is a new signing. Joshua Zirkzee. So you're going to have about 5 players on the bench if this manager keeps trying to shoehorn Bruno into the team. And I said it's exactly going to happen if Baleba comes in as well. So again, I've got no worries about Cunha and Mbeumo. As the season goes on, they're going to get better. The one issue that I have with both of those players is that for the quality that both of those players provide, I would like them to be a bit more clinical. You know, the chance that that Cunha had, you know, where he put the ball down from Bayinder's kick, you know, a bit more of a clinical striker puts that in the back of the net. You know, I know people are going to look at the fact that, you know, he's brought the ball down well, etc. But for me, he's got to be a bit more clinical for me. But other than that, these two players, you know, they're going to be key in United doing anything this season. You know, so I've got no worries about them. The frustration that I had is that when you're bringing off the likes of Amad and then you've got no Zirkzee and you've got no Kobbie Mainoo, you've got no quality players all playing together. And, you know, and all the players that come on, the likes of Sesko, Ugarte, Bruno Fernandes still on the pitch, Mason Mount. These guys are all athletes. They're not fucking footballers. And this manager does not like footballers. It's an absolute joke what this manager's doing. You know? So Lumi says, Mount shouldn't have gone off. They would have won had they kept him on. Good game, but vital for the system with his intelligence. Yeah, big up Lumi. Listen, Mount's not vital for the system in my opinion. You know, I thought Mount had an okay game. You know, some decent touches on the ball. But the problem that I'm seeing with Mount, yeah, is that if you're going to drop Bruno Fernandes and you want to play Mason Mount, then fair enough. I haven't got a problem with that. If that's if Mount's not starting every game. But if Mount's going to play and Bruno comes off, I wouldn't mind that as much. But when you're playing Bruno Fernandes every minute of every game, Mason Mount's playing, then Mount comes off, and then Bruno stays on. And then you got lots of Kobbie Mainoo, who can't even get on the fucking pitch. This is where the issues come. And I'm fed up with this manager. You know, I'm not here for anyone trying to tell me this manager deserves, you know, another season. He's already shown, this manager, that he isn't the guy for the job. He's already shown that. Get him out of it. Get him out. I've had enough of this manager now, man. He's pissing me off. Yeah, listen, Lenny Yoro's a top player, man. And I feel sorry for Lenny Yoro. I feel sorry for Matthias de Ligt. Because these guys are doing their job, you know, and they're not getting their rewards, let's be honest. They're not getting their rewards. And it's frustrating. It must be frustrating for them. But these two always put in consistent performances, no doubt, you know. Yeah, it's frustrating. Don't worry, Lumi. We're going to get on to Bruno Fernandes because the fact that Bruno missed the penalty, you know, why are we surprised? I mean, Bruno's good at penalties, don't get me wrong, but Bruno's head went, you can tell. I think the referee barged into him by an accident, and Bruno's arrogance is to say to the ref, like, what you doing kind of thing. And it's like, just fucking get your head straight and try and take this penalty and score. But the guy thinks he's better than what he is. So when Bruno's doing all this nonsense, why are we surprised? You know? Fucking joke, man, honestly. Big up to Nubis, man. So 48% possession versus Fulham. It's going to be a long season with Bruno there. Just sell him to Al Hilal and buy Baleba and Stiller. Big up to Nubis. Yeah, I heard some news today, actually, about Al Hilal and Bruno. And as I said, you know, I'm disinterested in this Bruno Fernandes and Saudi story now, because the fact that he never went to that he never left the club to he never left the club to go to Al Hilal in the first place is an absolute joke, because the actual the management, Ineos, should have just taken it out of Bruno and the manager's hands and forced him out of the club. But the fact that that never happened, all this talk about Bruno and Saudi now, I don't give a damn no more. Bruno shouldn't be here. It's a fact. He shouldn't be here still. He's being shoehorned into the team at the expense of other players, and we have to just sit here and just watch this crap football. You know, the first game against Arsenal, was it more Arsenal being shit or United playing well? I think in spells, United played decent, but on the whole, United lost the game. And you're hearing people come out saying, oh, we were impressed with the performance. Fuck all that. They lost the game. And today, they drew the game and shouldn't have won. Let's be honest. They shouldn't have won this game, United. And you know what? I'm a Man United fan, but I'm fucking happy that United didn't win, because I'm sick and tired of United scraping results when they don't even deserve it. You know? I cannot enjoy Manchester United. I can't enjoy a game where I watch Man United play good for the whole 90 minutes. You know, where the best players are playing and the players that are not so good come off the pitch. But this manager is sabotaging his team. He's an absolute disgrace, this manager. You know? Fucking joke, man. Absolute joke, this manager. Big up to Ryan Campbell. Yeah, listen, man, you can laugh, man. Listen, Arsenal won 5-0 yesterday, and well done to them. But listen, when you guys end up at the end of the season with no trophies yet again, I want to see the same energy. I want to see the same energy. Please bring that same energy. Yeah, man. Big up to Sham, man. Big up. Big up to Chris and Mark as well. So Ryan says, Fulham is a tough place to get a result. Man United did well to get a point. No, I don't want that crap. Listen, I said start of the season, yeah, he's got 5 games, you know. If United would have got a point against Arsenal, I would have said, you know what? Yeah, Fulham away, a point away at Fulham, I would have been happy with. The fact that they got beat by Arsenal, you know, it was a must-win against Fulham for me, and Burnley's a must-win, you know. The fact that he's now got a point against Fulham, you have to go and beat Burnley, Man City and Chelsea for me. Because there's no way I'm going to have anyone tell me that in the first 5 games, Man United getting 5 points or less than 6 points is acceptable. Because it's not. Not after what happened last season as well. So for me, he needs to go and win all 3 games. I think the Burnley game, they should win. You know, if he doesn't beat Burnley, sack him in the tunnel. If Amorim doesn't beat Burnley, you sack him in the tunnel. And I mean, he has to win the game. I don't want to hear no draws, nothing else. If Amorim doesn't beat Burnley, Ineos have to move and sack him in the tunnel. Because I'm not going to go through this whole season seeing this grinning idiot, you know what I mean, on his knees all the time. You know what I mean? Sabotaging this team. You know, the standards need to be kept higher. Because I just don't understand why this fan base are so in love with this manager. What the fuck has he done for this club? Nothing. You know, I couldn't stand Eric Ten Hag. And Eric Ten Hag's better than Ruben Amorim. I never thought I'd be saying that. I couldn't stand Ten Hag. Like, people that know me would know, you know, I hated Ten Hag in the end, because Ten Hag was playing the wrong players, i.e. Rashford, Garnacho and Højlund in the front 3, disgrace with Bruno behind them. And to think now, we've got Amorim, who was supposedly meant to be the best coach, up-and-coming coach, What the fuck is he coaching? He ain't coaching jack. He's not. He ain't coaching nothing. And to think that I think Ten Hag is a better manager than Ruben Amorim just tells you all you need to know. You know, it's an absolute disgrace, this manager. So again, I don't really care about this point away to Fulham. You know, this Fulham game was needed to be a win. And the fact that this manager, again, has failed, that Arsenal performance means nothing now. And they didn't win the game. So I don't want to hear people tell me, you know, Arsenal performance, yeah, we done well. You didn't beat Fulham. You go and play Burnley. Like, if you beat Burnley, you meant to beat Burnley. But City and Chelsea now has to be a win. And do I think he beats City and Chelsea? No. City away, I can't see them beating City away. You know, I know last season, obviously they beat City last season, but I'm not confident United beating City away and Chelsea at home. Not from what I've seen in this manager. And this manager is incapable of taking off Bruno Fernandes. I mean, what kind of hold does Bruno have over this manager? And again, Diogo Dalot, yeah, was at fault for the goal. If you watch Dalot, his touch was poor and the ball got nicked off him by Alex Iwobi. And Iwobi played the ball into Smith Rowe. Smith Rowe, good run, good finish, you know. And again, it was good that happened because this manager's reluctance to stop playing, to leave Dalot on the bench and bring him on for Ahmad, that's what you fucking get, Amorim. That's what you get. The manager's a fucking idiot. Get rid of him. Get him gone, man. Honestly, I can't stand this manager. Yeah, big up to Nubis, man. Just sack Amorim already. He'll never let United sell Bruno and Dalot. He's never been beyond. Listen, I cannot fault what you're saying there. This manager's love for Bruno Fernandes and Dalot is weird. It's absolutely weird. Like, and I've said this, guys. I said at the start of the season. I said this last season. If he keeps playing these two players, yeah, do not expect Man United to go and do anything. You know, I don't give a shit if they're his compatriots, yeah? Why the fuck does Dalot and Bruno have a hold over this manager? Why? How can we see Ahmad, as I said already earlier, Ahmad's one of Man United's most talented players. We have to watch Ahmad in his fucking system play wingback. Why is that? Why is that? Why do we have to continuously see Ahmad playing wingback? Ahmad's not enjoying wingback. But because Ahmad's a professional, he's just getting on with it. But he's having to play wingback in this shit system. Why? Why? The guy's an actual number 10 and he's playing wingback for this fucking manager. Why? It's ridiculous, this manager. Ridiculous. And then what he does, as I said to you guys already, yeah, Ahmad has a problem because this manager wants to play Dalot. And Dalot's going to come on for Ahmad. This is the problem. This is the problem, you know. And as I said, man, I'm just fed up of this whole nonsense now. You know, I was fed up last season. You know, fans wanted to give him a pass. Oh, let's give him his own players. All this shit. Let's give him his own players. He gets given 3 players in Sesko, Cunha, and Mbeumo. He's not even fucking playing Sesko. Like, the whole thing's a joke, man. The whole thing's a joke. And all you're going to get is these fucking clueless fans try and tell you, you know, that are trying to defend the manager. Oh, he needs more players. First and foremost, look, I got his fucking face on the screen. I didn't want to see his face on the screen. I'm going to turn this off. I don't even want to see his face on the screen, man. I can't stand this manager. He's fooled this fan base, yeah, because of the way he talks. He's fooled this fan base. Like, he's got Sesko on the bench. And I'm not a massive fan of Sesko, but I knew Sesko weren't going to play because he's got to justify playing Mason Mount. He loves Mason Mount. He loves Bruno. He can't take off Cunha and Mbeumo, which means Sesko's the fall guy. We're not even getting Joshua Zirkzee on the pitch. And Zirkzee's one of the most talented forwards at the club. He can't even get on the pitch because of this manager. Joke, man. Absolute joke. Big up to Wayne Griffins. Fucking joke, man, honestly. Bruno missed the penalty. Yeah, he did, man. Yeah, he did. Again, Bruno's a very good penalty taker. But I'm not here for this Bruno Fernandes nonsense, man. Bruno Fernandes has been a massive problem at this club for years. I've said this for years. He's been a massive problem. And until this fucking club and this fucking manager starts doing what's right by this club, we're gonna keep seeing this nonsense. I'll challenge anyone to try and tell me why Bruno deserves to be here. Because he doesn't. He doesn't. Like, the guy's an absolute fucking annoyance. The fact that he lost the ball trying to tell people where to run, that made me happy. Because it's letting you know that this guy thinks this guy's above his station. He's trying to do his hand movements, telling people where to run. Just play the ball and keep it moving. How about that? Joke, man, this guy. Joke. So Ryan Campbell says he plays a system regardless of the players at his disposal. Yeah, and the system's not working. What do you mean he plays a system? He's playing a system, but at the end of the day, he's playing a system which is not getting the best out of the players. I don't care what anyone says. Ahmad's not a wing-back. But because he plays this system, the closest position to a wing-back is to a winger is a wing-back, which is why Ahmad plays there. You really think Ahmad wants to spend half his time running back to his own goal? And then when he does get the ball, he's fucking tired. You know what I mean? Just play a 4-2-3-1 or a 4-3-3. Play Ahmad in the 10. Simple. Again, he's not going to change his system, this manager. He's not going to change it. But again, expect this team to keep failing. Because the worst thing about this manager is his player profile. You know, the players that he rates. He rates Mason Mount. I don't. He rates Bruno Fernandes. I don't. He rates Diogo Dalot. I don't. He rates Harry Maguire. I don't. He rates Luke Shaw. I don't. You see what I mean? And then he brings on Manuel Ugarte. What's Ugarte going to do? Ugarte should have probably started the game because he's got legs in midfield. And I said the other day from the preview, I said Lukic has legs in the midfield. So I thought he would have played. I thought he was going to play Bruno and Ugarte in there to counter Lukic's legs, which he didn't do. You know, he started more or less the same team. The only change he made was Ahmad for Dalot, and he had to do that. Like him playing Ahmad for Dalot does not fool me, by the way. You know, I'm well aware to this manager what he's doing because he knew full well if he starts Ahmad on the bench, yeah, he knew the backlash from these fans was going to be there. That's what it is. But then he takes Ahmad off anyway. Like he's not. This manager thinks he's smart. He's not smart. He's not smarter than me. I can tell you that now. I can see what he's doing. He played Ahmad to get the fans off his back, and then took Ahmad off anyway. You know, you can see Ahmad is disinterested with his team now, and I can't blame him. He's playing in a position which is not suited to his skill set, and he's coming off anyway. You know what I mean? The whole thing is an absolute disgrace. You know, if there's any Man United fans that are happy with this result, then please tell me in the chat, because like that will just show me the standards are at an all-time low. There's no Man United fan that should be happy with this result. You know? Nubis says, sorry, but Ahmad was horrible too. He's not suitable for the wing-back. Maybe United should consider saying him. Needs someone with higher work rate. Yeah, Nubis, Ahmad's not getting sold. He's not getting sold. Ahmad just signed a new contract. Like, so I'm not entertaining this Ahmad selling. So let's just calm that one down, yeah? The wing-back, again, he's not a wing-back. He's not a wing-back. But the problem is, he's having to do most of his work going the wrong way. You know, and then when he gets the ball, the guy's tired. You know, and I can't blame him. He's not a wing-back, but he's having to play there. You know, and again, Ahmad wasn't great, but Ahmad's not a wing-back, man. He's not a wing-back. I'd much rather this manager not play Ahmad at all if he's going to play this system. You know what I mean? Because he's doing a disservice to Ahmad. When Ahmad's one of your most talented players, he needs to be on the ball, not running up and down, being dictated to by fucking Bruno Fernandes. That's what needs to happen. Why is he playing wing-back? He shouldn't be playing that. Go and get a specialist wing-back for that position. You know what I mean? It's an absolute joke, this. Absolute joke. Yeah, absolute joke, man. Nubis says, the ref trying so hard to help United this week because of what happened last week versus Arsenal. Yeah, the referee was an absolute disgrace, I have to say. He was poor, you know. I mean, if you're going to give the foul on, you know what I mean? Because all I ask for these referees is to, you know, be fair. But if you're going to give a foul because Calvin Bassey threw Mason Mount on the floor, you know, if he gets pushed in his back by Lenny Yoro, it's still a foul. He's still pushed him. His hands are on his back. You know, just consistency. That's all he asks for, really. I mean, again, I don't take no kind of satisfaction that Man United got a goal there because, yet again, this team are incapable of creating clear-cut chances. And to get a goal where it was really a foul and was an own goal, that don't sit right with me. I have to be honest. It doesn't. And that's why Fulham getting an equaliser, you know, I think it was fair. Because I don't want to see Man United sneak fluke results again. I'm tired of this. I've been dealing with United fluking results for years. I just want to see good football when the best players play. And we're not getting that. We're not fucking getting that. It's a joke, man. Honestly. Yeah, bro, listen, Sham, I am pissed, man. I'm not going to lie. Because I see this coming. This is the funny thing. I told you guys at the start of the season, big up Daniela as well. I told you guys at the start of the season, you know, last season I didn't forget about. Because when you hear people trying to say he needs his own players, these players are shit, etc., it's like, first and foremost, this manager was brought in. It's not even a manager. This coach was brought in because he's meant to be a very good coach, a young coach. So I don't care what players that you have at your disposal. If you're a good coach, you should be coaching better football. He's not doing that. The team have gone backwards. I don't care what anyone says. They've gone backwards. Because this Arsenal performance ain't fooling me. Ain't fooling me. You still lost the game. What does it matter? What does it matter? The whole thing's an absolute joke, man. Big up to Barbara Joseph as well. Daryl Patterson says, Manu is shite, doesn't track back, only good on the ball. Again, another nonsense comment there. Manu's not shite. He's not shite. And in the day, Manu doesn't, Kobe Manu doesn't suit this system. He doesn't. If you're going to play Kobe Manu, he's got to play in the 10 where he has freedom to get onto the ball. But in this 2 in midfield, that isn't his preferred position in this system. Again, you play a 4-2-3-1 or a 4-3-3, you will get the best out of Kobe Manu because it's a different responsibility. This 2 in midfield, as I keep saying, it requires experience, leadership, and legs. All the 3 that Kobe hasn't got. So to go and say he's shy, again, he ain't shy, and I advise you to watch some more football because I'm just not here for these nonsense comments. Like, he's not shy. He's not. At least come out with something that is relevant to this. Joke, man. So SRK says he is the captain. How can you drop him, bro? Easy, you fucking drop him. I don't care if he's the captain. Like if you're a manager of any pedigree, you know, you just drop the guy. You just drop him. Make a statement. I don't care if he's the captain. He shouldn't be the captain. That's the worst thing about it. If I'm looking at Man United right now, the captains in this team are Casemiro and Matthias de Ligt. They're the real captains in the team, not Bruno Fernandes. He's no captain. You know what I mean? So you just drop him. I don't care if he's a captain. You just drop him. Show some balls. Big up to Juliana Suarez as well. Uruguayan. Gamer says they need to win next game. Bro, they need to win the next 3 games. The next 3 games. Not just the next game against Burnley. And again, I don't care about this Grimsby game either. Fucking Grimsby. Like, they're away to Grimsby. Man United should be putting out their youth team and beating Grimsby. Let's be honest. So, I don't care about that. But the Burnley game, I expect United to win. You know? But for me, he has to win. He has to win all 3 games. There's no way any Man United fan should be accepting if Ruben Amorim comes out with less than 6 points. For me, you know? He needs to beat Man City, Chelsea for me. Man City, Chelsea, and Burnley. I don't give a fuck. He needs to beat all 3 teams. He has to. You know, it's unacceptable if he doesn't, like, if he goes next, if he doesn't beat Burnley, as I said, man, just sack him after the game. He has to go if he doesn't beat Burnley. But if he beats Burnley, cool. Everyone's going to be buoyant, in a good mood. But listen, City and Chelsea, I'm sorry. If you're losing to Arsenal and drawing with Fulham, Burnley, for me, is a 3-pointer game. So that's erased from my memory, that game, because they should win that. But for me, you got to go and beat City and Chelsea. And I think if any fan doesn't expect that. Again, are you even Man United fans, or are you more important, or are you more concerned with protecting this manager? You know, he has to go and beat both teams for me, all three teams. I don't care. Big up to JW fan. Big up, man. Guys, come on, run up the likes, man. 18 likes, and there's 65 of you in at the moment. Big up yourselves. Yeah, big up to Chris and Mark, man. Listen, I'm not here to cut any corners, man. Like, my opinion's my opinion. You know, I've had enough of this manager. I've had enough of him. You know, as I said, I couldn't stand Eric Ten Hag, man. And to think that Ten Hag is better than Amorim, you know, I should never be saying that. I should never be saying that. The fact that a lot of fans as well, you know, a lot of fans had a problem with Louis van Gaal. Said his football was too boring, etc. Listen, Ruben Amorim couldn't hold a torch to Louis van Gaal. He couldn't hold a torch to him. Louis van Gaal was a very good manager, but this fan base was impatient. And then what happens? Van Gaal gets sacked because they wanted Mourinho. And we know what happened there. So why is Ruben Amorim, that has recorded the lowest ever finish from Man United, ever, you know? I want people to remember as well, last season, before the Aston Villa game, I believe the guy only had 9 points in 2025. You know? The whole thing's a shambles, man. The whole thing's an absolute shambles. Get rid of this manager. Get him out of here. Get him out of here, man. Then Phil says Luke Shaw was trash. I mean, to be fair, I'm not even going to get onto the defence. I mean, the very fact that Luke Shaw has now found his way back into this team just tells you all you need to know. You know, it just tells you all you need to know. Luke Shaw, Mr. Injury Prone, has found his way back into the team. You know? What's Aiden Heaven done? Yeah, joke, man. Absolute joke. Big up to Leanne Cutter as well for coming through. Big up each and every time, Liam. So Lewis says, tell me why we are getting rid of Højlund. It makes 0 sense because he's shit. I'm not here for this Højlund crap talk, man. Please. Rasmus Højlund is not the level. He's not the level. You know, he's arguably the worst striker in the league. I don't want to hear why we're getting rid of Højlund. Højlund's not good, man. Like, it's okay. I've seen strikers. I've seen players like Bebe. I've seen players like Miran. Was it Miran Diouf? I forgot his fucking first name. Miran Diouf. Yeah, they're better than Højlund. And these guys had to get out of the club. Gabriel Obertan. You think Højlund's better than them players? Because he's not. So I'm not here for this Højlund. Why we get rid of Højlund? He's crap. It's as simple as that, man. I'm not here for this revisionism on Rasmus Højlund. You know what I mean? Man United have got to stop this sentiment nonsense with some of these players. You know what I mean? Man United are meant to be one of the biggest clubs, best clubs in the world, and we're hearing people say, "What about Rasmus Højlund? He's shit. He scored 4 league goals last season. He cost 72 million. You know what I mean? Let's allow this Rasmus Højlund talk. I'm not here for it, man. Gamer says, no chance United winning the next 3 games. Well, listen, he's going to have to. I'm sorry. Because if he beats Burnley and doesn't beat Chelsea and Man City, let's say he loses both games against Chelsea and City and beats Burnley, 3 points. That's unacceptable. If he gets a point against Man City and beats Burnley and draws with Chelsea, 4 points. Unacceptable. So for me, he needs to get 9 points in next 3 league games. I'm sorry, he has to. He has to. So Lewis says, I get what you're saying, but tell me who you getting as a manager instead. Listen, I hear a lot of fans say this. Who you getting in? That ain't my job. My job is to give my honest opinion and tell you what I'm seeing. This is why Man United hire people in place to sort these things out. There's managers in this league. Oliver Glasner. You know, I'll take Roberto De Zerbi from Marseille. Thomas Frank should have come to this club in the first place. Look at what Thomas Frank is doing at Tottenham. I told you guys, Thomas Frank is going to make Tottenham a serious outfit. When Tottenham went and beat Man City yesterday, I wasn't surprised. I wasn't surprised because I'll tell you now, they bought some good players and he's a very good manager. You know, go and get me Andoni Iraola. Go and get me Iraola from Bournemouth. But this manager ain't it. I don't want to see this club waste any more time on this manager because he isn't good. He's not. You know, I thought when United got him, he wasn't my first choice, but I thought, do you know what? Yeah, I think Ten Hag's going. Let's give Amorim some time and see what he can do. He ain't good enough, man. He's not. He's not good enough. I don't care what anyone says. I've seen too much football in my life, you know, to know that this system, what he's playing, and again, the system isn't a major problem, but it's the players that he chooses and how he interprets the system. You know, the fact that he can't identify who the best players are is a red flag straight away. So get him out of it. Because United are never going to go to the top with the way that he thinks, the way that he sees football. Get him out of it, man. He's a shit manager. So Dem Phil says Bruno didn't track Smith Rowe. Listen, I'm not going to get onto Bruno because the one thing that Bruno does, he does run. Yeah, he does run, yeah. But listen, the guy shouldn't be playing in the first place. You know, the fact that we have to keep watching him play 90 minutes, I'm actually bored of it now. I'm bored of this player. You know, ever since he's come to the club, he's had the free reins of Old Trafford, you know, to go and do whatever he wants. I'm bored of it. If Al Hilal was still interested in him, just get him gone, man. Get him gone. Go and get me Carlos Baleba or Eduardo Camavinga, and we keep it moving. Simple. I can't do another season of Bruno Fernandes. You know, we know what Bruno Fernandes does. You know, ill-disciplined, you know, has a shit game but might get numbers. I'm sick and tired of that now. Just get him gone. Big up to Gunners fan as well. Bro, I just told you what manager will bring in. Bring in Oliver Glasner. Bring in Iraola. De Zerbi. Whoever. Just bring a manager that's going to play a 4-2-3-1 or a 4-3-3 and play the best players. That ain't too much to ask. But one thing's for certain, there's no way that this manager carries on. There's no way. Because I'll tell you this now, the first two games, you know, he's got 1 point against Arsenal and Fulham. He's got Burnley at home, which, again, is a luxury, really, because you should beat Burnley at home. But judging by Burnley's last league game, you know, they might be confident coming to Old Trafford. And we know what United do. City and Chelsea, and the next 5 games after that are difficult games. If anyone knows the next 5 games United have after the Chelsea game, then put that in the chat, because it's not going to be easy. That's what I will tell you. And Gunners fan, listen, the fact that you're saying this manager has to take care of the Portuguese guys is what's going to be his downfall, unfortunately. Because for me, there is no way, yeah, this manager is gonna get away with it if he keeps shoehorning Bruno and Dalot into the team. You know, he was desperate, yeah, to play Dalot. Desperate, like he couldn't start Dalot because he knew the backlash from the fans would have been too much. So what he done, he just took Ahmad off anyway. Like, come on, man, if you're a real fan, you knew that was coming. His substitutions, you just know what's going to happen. Dallow's going to come on. Ugarte will come on for the legs. Sesko's going to come on because of a new signing. This manager's predictable. He's predictable. Like, forget him. Yeah, listen, De Zerbi's a very good manager, man. I wanted him when he left Brighton, but they went for this manager instead. Shivam says, what manager even Sir Alex Pep, Ancelotti, Klopp? Yeah, listen, Shivam, look, big up for your comment, man, but you see all this nonsense? I'm not here for that, yeah? So you're saying Alex, Pep, Ancelotti, Klopp, Mourinho can't do anything with this team, is beyond repair. That's an absolute lie, you know, and again, you're getting that from other channels. This channel here, we're not going to give you this nonsense. At the end of the day, a better manager will get better from these players. Because I'll tell you one thing, Pep, Ferguson, Ancelotti, Klopp, Mourinho are not playing this system. That's a start, you know. If you're a manager, you have to adapt to your players, not the other way around. That's not how it works. So to say that these players are beyond repair, so you what? You think Ahmad, Cunha, Embuemo, Xerxes, Mainu, Delict, Ahmad, Cunha, Embuemo, Xerxes, Kobe Mainu, Lenny Yoro, Delict, Dorgu. Yeah? Not to mention the other ones we mentioned as well. The Brunos and the Shaws and the Mounts, Sesko, Ugarte, Casemiro, all them. So you think a manager can't get better out of those players? If you think that, then I'm sorry, man. I'm not sure what to tell you. But that's a complete lie. Whoever says that these managers couldn't get best out of these players, yeah? Again, that's another sign of protecting this manager. You know, it's a lie. Yeah, big up, Shan, man. Get the red wine and the Coca-Cola out. Yeah, listen. I think after this game watching, man, I might need to go and get one after. I'm on the water right now, though, man. But yeah, listen, man. I'm well and truly fed up, and I'm fed up because I can see this coming. I can predict this manager what he does in his lineups, you know, and the substitutions. I just know what he does. It's obvious. Yeah, it's obvious. Fed up with it, man. Seriously. Shivam says, Mainu, Xerxes haven't played a minute of football this season, by the way. Yeah, exactly. That's the problem. Well done, Shivam. That's the problem. That's the problem. But yet, Bruno's played every game. Dallow's playing. Yeah. Listen, man. It's a joke, man. It's an absolute joke. Yeah, listen, Bruno Fernandes, man. That guy frustrates the hell out of me, man. Frustrates the hell out of me. Big up to Ennis there, man. Big up. So, guys, how many games would it take before Amorim gets sacked? Listen, I told you guys, and I'm going to say it again. I said start of the season, 5 games until he's got 5 games for me. I said that at the start of the season. He needs to get a certain amount of points, yeah? If he doesn't beat Burnley, get rid of him. Get rid of him. All the signings that have been made so far are club signings. They're not signings for the manager, yeah? Just get rid of him. If you don't beat Burnley, get rid of him. Simple. Get rid of him. Why are you going to keep him if you can't beat Burnley, a newly promoted team, and think he's going to go and do anything against City and Chelsea? Nah, forget it. Get rid of him. So, yeah, I'm going Burnley. I think the next game against Burnley, if he doesn't beat Burnley, he should be gone, under pressure. It's as simple as that. So Andy Fay says, what do you mean you don't rate Bruno? Easy, Andy. I'll tell you now. I don't rate Bruno Fernandes. I never have done. I never have rated Bruno Fernandes. Bruno Fernandes came to this club, you know, because Jesse Lingard was playing in the 10 and fans just wanted a new player. And again, Bruno came in and got numbers at the expense of the team. Because the amount of times the guy was empty in the midfield, you know, to go and get numbers is why fans loved him. And not to mention, Bruno's a passion merchant. He fits the philosophy. He fits what a lot of fans like. The fact that he runs around, he argues with the ref. If he misses a shot, he starts punching the ground, kicking the post. All this fake passion nonsense that I can't stand. He fits that for a lot of fans. And the problem is that he's now being shoehorned into this team. He's been made the captain, even though he's not a captain. I mean, what captain does what he does on the pitch? I've never seen it, you know? He tells people what to do, like hand signals, where to run, and that got him caught out today in the first half. You know, he ain't no captain. And again, if you're someone that rates Bruno because of his numbers, because of GA, that's just telling me that you guys have no interest in football. Because I'm a football man. I've watched football my whole life. I've played it. I've coached it. I've watched it. Yeah. And I'm never going to have no one tell me that a player's good based on GA. I'm not going to have no one tell me that. What the question people have to ask themselves is that if your midfielder, supposed midfielder, is getting more GA than your attacker, that would tell you there's something wrong with the team. There's a fault in the team. That will tell you that. You know, not to mention the guys on every corner, every free kick, every penalty. You know, tell me that's not a problem. So Wadzanai Bara says Man United have disappointed so far, but they are going to come back. Well, come back where? Where are they going to come back to? Do I believe United are going to come back to the glory years? I fucking hope so. I hope so. But from what I'm seeing right now, not under this manager. This manager's not good enough. I don't care what anyone says. He's not good enough. He's not. You know, I wouldn't even mind if the manager was picking the best players and, you know, the results were a bit up and down, but there was something to build on. He's still picking the wrong players. Like, it's ridiculous, man. Ridiculous. But there you go, Andy. Andy, there you go. Subbing 2 of the back 3 with 5 minutes to go is... Listen, it's not ropey management. I'll tell you what he does, Amarim, yeah? And again, he must think fans are stupid, yeah? He's only bringing on Harry Maguire because Harry Maguire's an aerial threat. So because the game's in the balance and it's 1-1, he thinks if United get a corner and Harry Maguire gets his head to the ball and nicks a result, that's all he cares about. That's not going to go down with someone like me that loves football. I'm not going to be satisfied if Man United nick a 2-1. For what reason? For what reason? You know, I wouldn't be satisfied at that if that was to happen. I would not be satisfied if United nicked a result 2-1 because Harry Maguire got a header. Like, that wouldn't go down well with me. I'll be honest with you. So this is why he does it. You know, I mean, people will say, oh, but Luke Shaw can't play 90 minutes. Well, listen, it was 86 minutes by the time he came off. So I don't even want to hear that. You know what I mean? I mean, look at Everton, man. Jack Grealish, Illiman, NDI. Look at the kind of quality they've got. You know? Look at the kind of quality they've got. Like, they're just disposing of... who they play? Was it Brighton they played, Everton? Was it Brighton? You know? Could I see Man United doing that? No. I can't see that. You know, Jack Grealish, man, top player, just comes there and just gets 2 assists. Him and NDI in the same team is gonna be a problem. You know, Man United, they got Ahmad, they got Embuemo, they got Cunha, Xerxes, Kobe Minu. Do you really think all 5 of them are gonna play at the same time? Hell no. Under this manager, hell no. Yeah, big up, Liam. Wayne says, if I was Amad Diallo, I'll pack my bags and leave. Well, the thing is, Amad's not going, yeah? But, Wayne, I understand what you mean. I understand what you mean. Because if I'm Amad Diallo, I'm just thinking to myself, why have I signed this new contract? For what reason? And, guys, I'm going to tell you this again. Kobe Minu, if he signs a new contract, he only signs a new contract if he knows he's on borrowed time. I promise you. There's no way Kobe Minu signs a new contract if this manager is going to stay. So that's one to watch, you know. As I said, if I'm Ahmad, I'm Ahmad, I'm having words with this manager. I'm having words with this manager. And again, Ahmad has the power to go and do that because he's a fan favourite. He's signed a new contract. This manager's on borrowed time. If I'm Ahmad, I'm going to Amrim and saying to him, look, why am I not starting off? Why am I coming off? Simple. Simple as that. Simple as that. Yeah, big up Lumi, man. Big up. Joshua says 300 mil wasted. How, bro? I mean, I wouldn't say... Well, for me, Embuemo and Cunha are not wasted signings, you know. I didn't really want Sesko. And again, when Sesko come on, you know, I can't really think of anything of note that he did. You know, I think the bit in the corner where he held the ball up was quite good. But I didn't really want Sesko. But again, he's here now. He's not even getting game time. So if he's not really getting starts, how the fuck is Xerxes going to get on the pitch? And Xerxes is one of Man United's most talented players. Joke. Absolute joke, man. Yeah, I did say 1-1. I did say 1-1. Yeah, listen, big up to James. This is why Liverpool didn't want him as their manager. You can see why. You can see why. Yeah, the whole thing's a shambles, man. Let's be honest. Let's be honest, man. The whole thing's an absolute shambles. This manager's an absolute prick, man. I tell you now. I don't think I've disliked a manager so much. You know, Ten Hag was the one, and this manager is getting on par with that. And the reason why I can't stand this manager is because what I'm seeing of this team and who's playing, I have to be honest and hold my hands up. I didn't see it. I thought this manager liked ball players. He don't like ball players. He likes athletes. It's obvious. It's obvious. So Craig Warby says, Minu is a 10 or the last man in the midfield three. So yeah, again, in this system, Kobe Minu's a 10. And in a 4-3-3, you know, you play him as a number, a left 8 or a right 8. And then in a 4-2-3-1, he can play as a 10 or he can play slightly withdrawn. This system, he can only play as a 10 because it requires a different mindset to start with, you know. And it requires the things that I mentioned earlier. Big up to Aluwong P says, thank God we're not playing in Europe. Yeah, imagine that, man. Imagine that, Man United in Europe. Yeah, listen. Yeah, it's a joke, man. So Mark says, why is he picking the same team? We have too many number 10s as well for the system. Well, the thing is, you know, the left 10 and right 10, Cunha, Mbeumo, Ahmad, you know, you can pick from that. People telling me that Xerxes not a striker. Like, what are you talking about? He's a striker. He may not be your striker, your type of striker, but he's a striker. You know, if you got Xerxes and Sesko for the 9, you've got Mbeumo, Cunha, Ahmad. If you want to throw Mount in there as well for the 10s. Yeah, listen, the thing is, I just can't bother to work it out because there's no point saying they got too many number 10s. It's very obvious what's happening here. The ones that are always going to play in the attacking positions are Cunha, Mbeumo, and Bruno Fernandes. Them three there are always going to play regardless, which means you've now got which means if you've got Cunha and Mbeumo as part of the front, as part of the attack, that means you've got the likes of Sesko, Xerxes, Mason Mount, Kobe Minu, Casemiro, and Ugarte battling for. They're battling for what? 2 spots? Yeah, that's what's happening. And then you got Ahmad, who's a 10, having to play wing back, having to deal with Dallo. It's a joke, man. Absolute joke. Guys, big up for all your questions. There's 40 of you in there, 20 likes. Again, if you're enjoying the content, you know, make sure you smash the like button. And as always, make sure you sub to the channel as well if you're new in here. Big up yourselves. Guys, I'm going to go back on some of your comments in a bit, but I'm going to go through the player ratings. And then I'll catch back onto some of your chats. But big up. So for me, first off, Altay Bayinde. You know, I was surprised to see Bayinde in goal again, if I'm honest. And I think, you know, obviously that's going to put speculation onto Andre Onana. I mean, Bayinde, coming for crosses is a problem. You know, it's an absolute problem. You know, I think every cross that come in, he looked nervous, looked shaky. Made a couple of decent saves that I think you'd expect the keeper to make. But again, obviously United have been linked to Sene Lamens, you know, and Lamens is looking like he's coming through. Again, Lamens is going to be under pressure. He is. Because if you think that they're targeting Onana and Bayinde from corners, Lamens new to the league, same thing's going to happen, you know. But I thought Bayinde today was decent, you know. But again, Onana comes out a goal. You know, what difference is Bayinde really doing? United not winning games, you know what I mean? So, yeah, the whole thing's a shambles, man. But I'm going to say out of 10, Bayinde, just give him a 5, you know, 5 out of 10. You know, my ratings are high because you have to be, like, very, very good to get a high score from what I see, yeah? So, Bayinde, 5. Back 3, I mean, Lenny Yoro was involved in the goal. Obviously, the push on Calvin Bassey. But for me, Lenny Yoro was good. But Lenny Yoro is always good. And as I said, Man United are going to have a problem holding on to Lenny Yoro because Lenny Yoro is a generational defender. He is generational defender. And if United are not doing right by Lenny Yoro and competing, I mean, it's only going to be a matter of time before he starts making noise because a player like that should be playing for the best teams in whatever league he's going to be in. But again, Lenny Yoro, another solid performance. And again, the highlight for Lenny Yoro was when, Josh King from Fulham was running through. And I just knew, I think Lenny Yoro is one of the very few players in the Premier League that you're confident if a player's running through and goal, he's going to get back. And the way he just clawed the ball away from Josh King, timed it to perfection, and another solid performance. So for me, 7 out of 10 for Lenny Yoro. Matthias de Ligt, for me, Matthias de Ligt is the captain, should be the captain. He's United's best defender. The way he reads the game, how physical he is as well, the way he patrols the defence. And what I can't stand is when Harry Maguire comes on, why this manager keeps putting de Ligt as a right-sided centre-back. Just leave de Ligt where he is. It should be Harry Maguire. I know Maguire hasn't got any legs, but you either don't bring Maguire on or you make Maguire move around de Ligt, not the other way around. And again, just like Lenny Yoro, de Ligt's played for Ajax, Juventus, Bayern Munich. So he's been at big clubs, And for me, he's the real captain. And another solid display from de Ligt, But I keep saying this: de Ligt and Yoro, they're just two very good defenders. And again, another 7 out of 10 for me, for Matthias de Ligt. Luke Shaw for me wasn't as good as both of them two, but again, Luke Shaw at the back, doesn't really put a foot wrong as much at the back for Man United. But again, sometimes he was found wanting. I think there was a bit in the second half where I think Kenny Tete and Harry Wilson played a 1-2 around him. I'm not sure whose fault it was. I'm not sure if it was Dorgu or if it was Luke Shaw himself. But Luke Shaw does have lapses of concentration at times. But I think the whole defence really, there's not really too much issue with the defence. I thought they were solid enough, put it that way. But Luke Shaw, I'm going to give him a 6. I thought it was decent. The wing-backs, Patrick Dorgu, not one of his better games, but again, Dorgu's going to go from strength to strength, up and down that wing, up and down that left wing. And as I said, man, I think there's bits that Dorgu does well. I think sometimes he gives away needless fouls, but I think with experience, he'll get better with more games. But yeah, I thought another average display really. I don't think he done anything amazing, and defensively was okay. So I'm gonna give Dorgu I'll give him a 5. Average performance. I'll give him a 5. Ahmad, I'm gonna give Ahmad a 5 as well. But again, Ahmad for me is a different case because Ahmad is not a wing back. He's a number 10, having to play wing back because again, when you got Embremo there now, there's no chance Ahmad's going to play in a 10 on this manager. So the fact that we've got to watch Ahmad play wing back and he's doing most of his work going the wrong way is part of the problem. So for me, I'm going to give him a 5, but he gets a 5 through no fault of his own. Because a player with that kind of quality should be on the ball as often as possible. And the fact that he's not just tells its own story, man. Why there's a massive issue. So, again, and him coming off for Dallo, if I'm Ahmad, I'm having words with this manager. I'm having words because it's unacceptable for him to either not be starting games or being the fall guy because this manager has a fetish with Dallo coming on. It's a joke. So yeah, 5 out of 10 for me for Ahmad. Moving on to midfield. Casemiro. Again, there was times where Casemiro was diving into to tackles, But again, I think Casemiro is a difficult one because I don't think Bruno Fernandes gets the best out of Casemiro. I think the only midfielder that might get the best out of Casemiro is probably Ugarte. And that's because Ugarte is probably more defensive and has the legs, but he's not good in the ball. He's shit, Ugarte. But that might allow Casemiro to be a bit more attacking, But again, Casemiro wasn't great today, but by no means was he the worst midfielder for Man United. By no means. So I'm gonna give him an average 5. But I mean, the way that this manager wants him to play with this man-for-man pressing in midfield, that's not Casemiro's game, you know. So, and the gaps that are in midfield, the amount of time United get broken on, and you see Casemiro, Bruno, or whoever's in there, just busting the gut to get back, you know, looking like they're struggling, is a worry, you know. So, I'll give him a 5 though. Bruno Fernandes. Again, spoken about Bruno already, so I won't go too much into it. But first and foremost, you know, the fact that he was too busy trying to tell people where to run and got caught on the ball serves him right. And that was always coming, because the amount of times he does that and gets away with it, I'm glad it happened. And he actually got found out for what he keeps doing. The penalty miss, I mean, to be honest with you, Bruno is a very good penalty taker. But the fact that the referee barged him by an accident and Bruno lost his head, again, is a problem, you know, because you're meant to be the captain. You know, you're taking a penalty, keep a cool head. The referee's not meant to barge, they didn't barge you on purpose. So I don't see what the issue was in him doing that. But the way he put it over the bar was surprising. But this is Bruno for you though, isn't it? You know, meant to be Mr. Consistent, but didn't step up when the team needs him. You know, it's okay when it's like 3-0, if United are 3-0 up. When the game's tight, or you need Bruno to come through, he very rarely steps up, you know. And again, his petulance as well is always there. Yeah, he weren't great. He weren't great. And the fact this manager keeps playing him every game, you know, I'm just gonna mark him down for that, because until this manager realizes that you can take off Bruno Fernandes, you know, he's going to keep failing this manager, you know, and why are we going to be surprised? So, yeah, I'm going to give Bruno a 5 today. Yeah, and as again, if this Al Hilal rumours are true, you know, again, I don't really want to talk about it because I'm bored of it now. But if they are true and Al Hilal want to make another bid, just sell the guy and let's move on, you know. Moving forwards, Brian Mbeumo. Again, I thought Mbeumo had bits and pieces in the game where he done well. I think he had a good battle up against Calvin Bassey at times as well. You know, I thought Bassey probably edged it, if I'm honest. But Bassey's powerful. He's quick and he's powerful. But again, I've got no worries with Mbeumo. You know, obviously he's a new signing. You know, obviously he took the corner for where the goal came from. I got no worries with Mbeumo, because I think him and Cunha together, you know, they are going to be good. But I said to you again, I just don't like this system, this 3 at the back nonsense, you know, because the 3 at the back means you're not going to get the most of your best players on the pitch, and this is where the problem comes from. So yeah, it's frustrating, but yeah, it is what it is, man. It is what it is. But Mbeumo, I'm going to give him a 6. I thought he was decent. I thought the battle with him and Bassey was good. Bassey probably just edged it. But again, Mbeumo for me will get better and better. So I thought he was decent today. Matthias Cunha. Matthias Cunha for me, he's Man United's talisman. You know, he's taken that reign from Bruno Fernandes. I never saw Bruno as a talisman in the first place anyway. But in terms of being the guy that the ball should be given to, that's him. That's him. And what frustrates me as well, I want to see Joshua Zirkzee with Matthias Cunha, because them two are going to be telepathic. You know, with Cunha's laid-back style, with Zirkzee's laid-back style, I think they're going to work well together. But this manager, can I see him playing them together? I can't see it. So, but Cunha, man, I mean, the touch from when Bayern there played it long, the touch was exquisite. Let's be honest, and he's got that in his game. He's a maverick, you know. That's why he's got number 10 on his back. And the one problem though is that as great as the touch was for me, he's got to be clinical and put it in the back of the net. Because what I hate is when someone does a great skill and then the end product's not there. The end product would have been put the ball in the back of the net and, you know, United 1-0 up. Cool. But the fact that he didn't finish it off, you know, was frustrating. But he's a top player, man. Matthias Cunha, top player, and United should count themselves lucky having a player of that quality, because he's definitely one of the best players in the league for sure. Mason Mount, again, I think I've already touched on. Again, Mason Mount had a similar game to what he had against Arsenal. You know, bits and pieces where he done well, but on the whole, you know, what's he actually doing? Like, he's just playing his part in the team of just keeping the ball ticking over. Like, that's all I see. You know, he's not a goal threat really. Yeah, he's just for me, he's just playing better than Bruno Fernandes. And as I said, take Bruno off and just keep Mount on if that's the case. If you want to do that. But again, oh sorry, Cunha's match rating. I'm gonna give Cunha I'll give Cunha a 7. I give him a 7. I thought he was good today. When he had the ball, some of the touches, you know, his strength from the ball as well, and his skill, like, he's got that in abundance, you know. So yeah, he was good, man. He was good. Mason Mount, as I said, I'll give Mason Mount a 6. I don't think Mason Mount was great. Again, I don't think he was the worst player, but yeah, it's one of them things, man, where how Mason Mount and Luke Shaw, like, and again, you've got one who's on 250, where's number 7 on his back and costs 60 mil. You've got another that's on 190 as a fullback. These guys have to be justified playing, and it's just weird how these two have come from nowhere, injury prone, and now these two guys are starting games. Yeah, and then you got Xerxes on the bench, Manu on the bench. Yeah, it's a joke, man, absolute joke. And in the subs, I mean, Dallow's shit in his system. I think Dallow as a right back in a 4-2-3-1, 4-3-3 is better. But Dallow coming on, I mean, what is the point? He offers nothing coming on Dallow. He offers nothing. And he's only coming on because this man just got a fetish for Portuguese players. It's clear. You know, Dallow was a 5 when he come on. He was shit. He was arguably at fault for the goal as well. Manuel Ugarte, what did he do? Except foul players, you know, as he always does. No quality, but just fouls players. Give him a 5. Maguire and Aiden Heaven didn't really have any time to impact the game. So, yeah. Frustrating, guys. Frustrating. But let me go through a few more of your comments before we wrap up. But big up, guys, for each and every one you coming on. There's 25 of you in there now. 24 likes. Smash the like button if you're enjoying the content. And make sure you sub to the channel as well. So Wadzanai Barra says, just because he missed the pen, now people are saying he's not a captain. That's not true, Wadzanai. The thing is with Bruno Fernandes is that he's just not a captain full stop. Because the penalty that he missed is irrelevant. The fact that he moans at his teammates if he loses the ball or if he gives it away, you know, he's no captain. Like, he might be your captain, but, you know, he's no serious captain. He's not. And at the end of the day, he's been the captain for United over the last couple of seasons now, and he's captained them to their worst ever finishes. So these are the things you got to look at, man. Yeah, big up to Craig, man. Big up for subbing. Big up. So Kamal Anoon says, if he wants to be in top 6, he should win 6 games straight away. Well, for a start, he's not doing that. So we can rule that out. Because I can tell you this for free now. They're not beating. He's not beating Chelsea or Man City. I can tell you that for free now. He ain't beating both of them. You know? And if he beats both of them, fair enough. But that's not happening. If you can't beat a poor Arsenal at home and you can't beat Fulham away, and again, the Fulham goal only came because, let's face it, Lenny Yoro pushed Bassi in the back. Otherwise, that goal shouldn't have stood. So when you actually think about it, United could have lost this game as well. You know, so he's not winning 6 straight games. And as I said, he's got 3 more games to get 9 points. He's made it a difficult task now. Because if you beat Fulham after losing to Arsenal and then beat Burnley, 6 points, you're like, fair enough, you know. The Arsenal game was frustrating, but he's got 6 points from Fulham and Burnley. And then going into the City and Chelsea game, you can afford at least a draw. And I would have thought to myself, do you know what? That's fair enough. The fact that he's got no win in 2 games, And then Burnley, the game where everyone, if they're honest with themselves, will be looking at that as a definite win. You now got to go and beat City and Chelsea. So this is what it comes down to. This manager dropping standard, we shouldn't finish in 15th with that. Bro, listen, there's no... Like, the thing is, the 15th finish in the league last season was a disgrace. The Europa League was even worse. And the Europa League was worse because his substitutions, you know, were an absolute disgrace what he done there. You know, and again, this is against a Tottenham team that don't really win trophies. And you didn't even beat Tottenham. So, yeah, two things there that how we got this season is criminal. Let's be honest. So, but as I said, you know what? I'm looking forward to next week because the transfer window comes to a shut. You know, one week left, and for me, I want to see Baleba. Baleba. I mean, I told you guys the other week about Camavinga. Again, I'd love Camavinga at the club, but you know, it's because of news I heard he might be available. But I don't give a damn. Go and get Baleba or Camavinga have to be brought in this window. I don't care. There's a week left. Ineos have to go and get him, and I believe Ineos get Baleba or a Camavinga hopefully over the line this week coming up. They have to. Sham says you must be hammering him if you're not liking this crash out from Gav. Smash the like button, like the stream. Yeah, big up, Sham, man. If you're hammering him, tell me why you're hammering him in. The PS12 says Amarin's the best manager in the Prem. Yeah, he's trolling. Rasmus Højlund's a scrub. I agree. Mr. Shart says Amarim is a poor man's Roberto Martinez. Yeah. But even Martinez, I don't think Martinez would have done as bad with what Amarim's doing. Boris Isaac says, guys, let's calm down. It's going to take time for the team to gel and work out. But Boris, if you're still in the chat, that's you lowering the standards. And I'm not here for that. I'm not here for no lowering the standards. You don't bring a manager in that performed the way he done last season and is still doing the same thing, playing the wrong players, making shit substitutions, and come on here and tell me to let the team gel and work out. Nah, not today, man. Not today. Not today, man. Yeah, listen, Waz and I don't care it's the start of the season, man. Like, Man United have got 1 point from 2 games. It's unacceptable from what happened last season as well. So, yeah, as I said, he's got 3 games to win. That's all I care about, man. He's got to win them 3 games. I don't care about Grimsby. Go and beat Burnley. Go and beat Burnley, City, and Chelsea. Nah, I don't want Diego Simeone, man. I don't want Simeone. Simeone's a good manager, but I want a manager that plays good football, man. I'm sick and tired of seeing. I'm sick and tired of seeing Man United play this style, play shit football. You know, today was no different. It was no different. Yeah, listen, big up to Jazz. Says, subbing 2 centre-backs with 5 minutes to go baffled me. I'm a Chelsea fan, so I don't know if this is something he does every game or not. Listen, he's a coward, the manager. He's an absolute coward. The only reason why he subbed on Harry Maguire is because he was hoping to fluke a corner. That's all he was doing. He was hoping Harry Maguire got his head onto the ball, you know, and if United nick it 2-1, you know, it puts him at ease for the night, getting away with a lucky result. The fact that it never worked, good. Absolutely good. Yeah, big up to Vincent. Vincent, listen. Zidane was my choice before United even hired Eric Ten Hag. I've wanted Zidane at Man United for years, but again, as we know, as we know with Zidane, he'll be risking a lot coming to a team that isn't set because of obviously what he walked in at Real Madrid. But I've wanted Zidane for years. Like I wanted him before. I wanted him before Ten Hag. You know, before Solskjaer. But yeah, man, we can only dream, man. But I would love Zidane to come and take this club. Not only was he a great player, you know, I believe he plays the right players as well. You know, if you're a technician as a manager, and guys, these things are important, yeah. Ruben Amorim, the kind of player that he was a workhorse. So if you're a workhorse kind of player, you're gonna play workhorse players for your team. Zidane, being a technician, will play the best footballers, and that's why I want Zidane. You know, that's why I want Zidane, but we'll have to wait and see, man. Yeah, big up to Craig, man. Big up. Guys, I'm just going through your chats now. If I don't get back to everyone, apologies. It's just that obviously there's quite a few chats on here, and I'm just going through the ones that stand out. So big up yourselves for putting your chats in and supporting the channel. Much appreciated. So Oliver there says, I knew from day one that Amorim is worst version of Ten Hag. Yeah, bro, I have to be honest, man. I didn't see it. I didn't see it. I have to be honest, because Ten Hag was that bad. I'm thinking possibly no one can be as bad as him. But to be honest with you, man, like, this manager's worse than Ten Hag. He is. He's performing worse than Ten Hag. I would love to know this. I would love to know the percentages of the stats in terms of, you know, the win percentage, etc. Because this manager's worse than Ten Hag. Like I won't have no one tell me otherwise. He's worse than Ten Hag. And Ten Hag was shit. And Leverkusen got beat yesterday. But yeah, but Ten Hag's a clown, man. Like, why are we surprised? Why are we surprised? Yeah, Craig, listen, I agree, man. He should have gone after the Euros. 100%. 100%. Like, when you're finishing 15th as a Man United manager and getting beat in Europa League, if you don't sack the manager, like, it just shows you that there's no standards at the club. It just shows you that. So, yeah, listen, man. But I said to myself, you know, I'm not going to... look at that. Everton agreed a deal with Tyler Dibbling, another quality player, man. Everton are doing bits, man. They're doing bits. But yeah, as I said, with Ruben Amorim, the fact that he's been allowed to have this season, you know, I said to myself, I'm not gonna get onto the manager because he's gonna be here, and me just getting onto him, you know, if he stays there, because it's pointless. But I said, look, he's gonna have 5 games, and at this moment in time now, he's got 1 point from 2 games. So this is why I'm going to start speaking up again now, because it's unacceptable, man. I've never seen Man United in this kind of malaise at the moment. It's ridiculous, man. It's ridiculous. This is meant to be one of the biggest clubs, the best clubs in the world. And I think in the transfer window, we've been acting like it. I mean, there's still no sales, which is fucking frustrating. But in terms of this manager, it's a shambles, man. Absolute shambles. Absolute shambles. So Bruno helped the team, helped them reach the Europa League final. Again, what did he do in the final, Wadzanai? What did he do in the final? Let me know. I'll wait. Nothing. He done nothing in the final. I don't want to hear this Bruno Fernandes revisionism. Paul Pogba never got this, but Bruno gets it. Why? Why is that? I know why it is, but ask yourself that question. Why is that? I'm not here for this Bruno Fernandes talk, man. I'm not. Yeah, listen, and this I'm trying to say to you. You're gonna get United beating Burnley, and then fans will get excited again, and then when they play Man City, Chelsea, it'll be back down. That's what I'm trying to tell you. I don't really care about the Burnley game. I'll be honest. They should beat Burnley. Burnley are a newly promoted team, and you're at home. They should beat Burnley. But am I going to get any satisfaction if Man United beat Burnley? No. No. Go and beat Burnley. Go and beat Man City. Go and beat Chelsea. and then you get my respect. But other than that, I don't give a damn if he beats Burnley. Yeah, big up to Craig. Craig says Liverpool City have dominated the league in recent years playing the midfield three. Again, you know the problem is with this manager, yeah? He has that much of a cheek, yeah, to think that he can play a midfield two in this league, and it's the combinations that he plays. Like, this is the biggest problem. You know, this is the biggest problem. And this is why Carlos Baleba needs to go and get bought, because if you go and bring Carlos Baleba, Baleba starts. He starts and he improves your midfield. And it's going to give him a problem with Bruno Fernandes. So this is what I'm trying to say to you. Just go and get Baleba, man. Yeah, big up to Barbara Joseph. Big up. So Mr. Shart says, why is he playing Casemiro over Kobe? Well, because for a start, Casemiro is more experienced. For one, he's a winner. He's the highest paid player at the club. So that's a start. And not to mention, Kobe can't play in a 6 or an 8 in this system. So Kobe, the problem that Kobe has is that, and I keep telling you guys this, Kobe's not going to play as long as this manager keeps playing Bruno Fernandes. Bruno Fernandes directly impacts Kobe Minu. And the fact that Mason Mount is getting game time ahead of Kobe Minu now as well is a disgrace. But it's not surprising because he plays Mason Mount because of his legs. But then all you have to see is that if Mason, but put it this way, yeah, if Mason Mount plays, that means you've got Xerxes and Sesko on the bench. Now, if he wants to bring on Xerxes or Sesko, Mason Mount's going to be the fall guy because he's not taking off Mbeumo, Cunha or Bruno. So Mason Mount becomes the fall guy, but that means Kobe don't get on the pitch because if you're going to bring on a striker and a striker that costs money, that means Sesko comes on from Mount, and that means Sesko goes through the middle, and then that means Bruno stays on the pitch in midfield, you know. So the only way Kobe plays is if the manager takes Bruno Fernandes off and plays Kobe Minu, which ain't gonna happen. So I told you, Kobe Minu, if he signs a new contract, it's gonna be because he must know this manager is on borrowed time. Because if you're Kobe Minu, why would you sign a new contract? Not to mention, if Kobe Minu's available, you're gonna have half the league, in my opinion, after him. You will. So it's one to watch, man. One to watch. So Dylan says you bottled it again. Big up to Grex as well. Yeah, listen, man. I don't think we bottled it, man. I just think this manager is just an absolute joke. Absolute joke, man. It's just an absolute joke, man. Big up to Nathan as well. Yeah, Ahmad's a quality player, man. He's a quality player having to fucking play wing back in this system. Disgrace. Big up to Blakey. Blakey says, hi Gav, thoughts on Dallow's switch today? Well, listen, the fact that Ahmad started, you know, I predicted he was going to start anyway, because, and again, the manager started Ahmad, and don't be fooled by what this manager does. He thinks he's clever, but he's not. The manager started Ahmad because he knew if he didn't start Ahmad for a second game in a row, a lot of fans don't think Dallo should be playing anyway. But if he started Dallo ahead of Ahmad, it would have been a case of he knew the fans would be on his back. Yeah? But what he did was take off Ahmad anyway. Because really, he wants to play Dallo. That's all it is. Like, this manager's not clever. He thinks he's smart, but he's not. Yeah, big up to Craig, man. Big up. But as I said, this manager thinks he's smart. He ain't fooling me. Ahmad was always coming off. Like, if you look at the lineup, yeah, the players that are going to come off the pitch is Ahmad, Mason Mount, Casemiro. Them three are always going to come off first before anyone else. So Ahmad, Mount, and Casemiro are coming off the pitch, regardless, before. And then Mason Mount becomes fourth. Because if he's got to put a striker on, as I said, he's not taking off Cunha or Mbeumo or Bruno Fernandes. So that's the problem. Yeah, big up to Jay. Big up. Yeah, Dallo shouldn't be playing as a wing back. He should be playing as a right-sided centre back. But he's gonna play him every game, man. He's gonna. Well, he's not gonna start him every game, but he will get game time because he's compatriot. Right, guys, I'm going to go through a few more of your chats before we wrap up. Man's got some food to be eating and ate nothing today. But big up yourselves for coming through. There's 25 likes. If you haven't smashed the like button, just one press of the button, guys. Help the channel to grow, to be seen by more people. And again, if you haven't subbed to the channel, make sure you do as well. Big up to DXR. So Lou says, new front line had a full pre-season and still looks the same as last season. Why is Ruben rigid when the system just ain't working? Because he's a fucking idiot, that's why. And as I said, you're going to get people out here trying to defend him. There's no defence. There's no defence. That's my team name at five-a-side, actually. But there's no defence for this manager. You know, I watched pre-season and I saw nothing. I saw nothing different apart from you've got better quality in terms of Cunha and Mbeumo. You know, again, first game of the season, people were excited because, you know, they thought the team were good, but even though we lost the game, but you know, I'm sticking to my word, and I'm telling you this now. This manager is not good enough. He's nowhere near good enough for this club. Big up to Craig says Xerxes is a baller, great player for link-up play. But again, Craig, the reason why Xerxes needs to play, and again, obviously you're new in here, but you probably get what I mean about this. And again, a lot of my subs that have been there for me from day one will know where I'm going with this. When you've got wide forwards in Mbeumo and Cunha, you do not need a number 9 goal-getter striker. You need someone that's going to facilitate getting the best out of them. This is why Joshua Xerxes is perfect, because Xerxes is unselfish. He's a link man striker, he has a great touch, and he has the physicality. And again, Xerxes is someone that will chip in with goals. You know, he'll get like, I think Xerxes easily can get 10 goals, 10 league goals, and about, you know, 10 assists in this team. Easily, you know, with his quality. But the fact this manager doesn't want to play him as a 9 and play him with Cunha and Mbeumo just tells me that this manager is incapable of looking at the bigger picture, because it's obvious that Xerxes, Cunha and Mbeumo would work perfectly, you know, in this system. But for me, 4-2-3-1, if you go and get a Baleba, imagine a team of Baleba and Kobe Manu as a 6 and an 8, and then you've got Ahmad in the 10, Mbeumo on the right, Cunha on the left, Joshua Xerxes as a striker. I'm telling you this now. People might say that's too attacking. Yeah, Ahmad's tenacious. Mbeumo works back. Cunha's tenacious. Xerxes can hold the ball up. You know, Baleba's tenacious. I'm telling you this now. If he played that team as a front 6, yeah, that team will be frightening. And then you're going to have the players on the bench that can come on if the game isn't going in favour. But when you're setting up in a way to play athletes more than footballers, you're going to get shit football and you're going to get results that are not going to be good. It's obvious. He's never going to play that team, but this is the problem. This is the problem. Big up to Exedra. Big up, bro. Yeah, bro, listen, man. Big up for coming through. Listen, this manager's a joke. You know, obviously, I know your faults on the manager as well. Yeah, it's just frustrating, man. As you said, man, it's 4:30 a.m. You're getting up and you're having to watch this nonsense football. It's a joke, man. It's an absolute joke. Yeah, listen, obrigado tax. You're right. You're not wrong, man. You're not wrong. The fact that he keeps playing Dallo, yeah, I think if anyone's, you know, a bit, you know, confused if he rates Dallo or not, your answer's there. Ahmad wasn't great, but Dallo was even worse. And he just wants to play Dallo, this manager. Absolute joker. Absolute joke. Yeah, Blakey, listen. I see Bruno not tracking Smith Rowe's goal. I see it. But again, the one thing that Bruno does do is run. So I'm not really going to get onto him because Bruno, there's plenty of times Bruno's not tracking players. But it goes unchallenged because people just want to defend Bruno. I'm not getting onto Bruno Fernandes because he's not tracking, because he does this. He does these things. I'm getting onto Bruno Fernandes because he plays every minute of every game, and he's ill-disciplined, and he's too busy trying to tell people what to do. That's what I get onto him for. He ain't no captain. He ain't no captain. So it's mad. Right, guys, I'm going to go through a few more of your comments before we wrap up. Big up yourselves for coming through. We got 27 likes. Guys, if you're in there and you're enjoying the content, let's at least get to 30 likes. So just smash that like button and sub to the channel, guys. Big up yourselves. Much appreciated you guys coming through and contributing to the stream. It's been a good one. Yeah, Chris and Mark, man. Spurs are not getting Rodrigo. They're not getting him. They're not getting him. Rodrigo's going... I'll tell you this now, yeah? I think City getting beat yesterday is a blessing in disguise because I think Savino goes Tottenham. I think he does go Tottenham, and I think City are going to go out for Rodrigo. I do think they're going to do that. Niche fan says Dorgu had a poor game for me. I don't think Dorgu was poor. I mean, I just thought Dorgu was, very rash, committing silly fouls. I just thought Dorgu was decent. I don't think he was out of this world. I don't think no player was United. I just thought he had a decent game. Decent game. Man City need to address their goalkeeping problem. If you have players like James Trashford who can't use his feet to save his life, no wonder City want Donnarumma. Yeah, but again, Wayne, Donnarumma's not a ball-playing goalkeeper, so they're gonna have the same problem if that's what you think. Donnarumma's not a ball-playing goalkeeper, which is why PSG don't mind letting him go. Donnarumma's coming to City purely because he's one of the best keepers in the world and he's a presence. But he's not a ball-playing goalkeeper. So unless Pep's going to go away from that, why is he signing him, really? But I think because Donnarumma's available, and again, he's won what he's won, this is why it's happening. But he's not a ball-playing goalkeeper either. Yeah, niche fan. Ahmad is a 10. He's a 10. But we got to watch him play wing-back. It's crazy. Madness. Absolute madness. Big up to Archie Edits. Big up to Mateen Kayani as well. Come on, guys. Got 27 likes. Smash the like button if you're in there. We're going to wrap up soon. Been a long stream, but big up yourselves, man. Big up. It's been a good one. Yeah, listen, DXR, bro. Bruno should have gone this summer. He should have. But again, I'm just waiting to this transfer window shut. And you know what? I'm gonna enjoy the transfer window this week more than anything now, because Man United for me have to get some, they have to bring in Baleba. They have to bring him in. So I'm looking forward to this window this season. This window in this last week now. I'm looking forward to it. Big up to Neil Pillay, says, sell Bruno, free up Mainu. Yeah, bro, listen, man, I can't disagree with that. Yeah, it's criminal, man. As I said, I wonder what Kobe Mainoo's actually thinking. I wonder what he's actually thinking, because he must be looking at this club and thinking, I've come through the youth. I was one of the players of the season, last season, for United. Or, well, no, not last season, or under... No, sorry, he was one of the players of the season when he first broke through under Ten Hag. And look at him now, man. He can't even get minutes on the pitch. When Amorim decided to play Mason Mount with Bruno Fernandes in midfield together, that's when I thought, yeah, this man is taking an absolute piss now. He's taking an absolute piss. Because you can't play Mainu and Bruno together, but yet you think it's a good idea to play Mason Mount and Bruno. He's taking the absolute piss, this manager. So, yeah, that's when I lost it, man. So JKM says Bruno attacking midfield, Cunha and Mbeumo out wide, Sesko or Xerxes up top. No, not for me, man. It should be Ahmad in the 10. It should be Cunha and Mbeumo either side, and then Xerxes up top. And then you've got the likes of Sesko on the bench. If Bruno's on the bench, yeah, that's what it should be. Guys, come on, 28 likes. Let's smash the like button before we wrap up. Man, he's going to eat some food. After how many games, lads, this manager is a bot. He played half a season and doesn't know. Come on, blood. Yeah, listen. The manager's an absolute disgrace, man. He's a disgrace. You know, I think what it is as well, because this manager talks the way he does, he's fooled a lot of these fans to thinking that he actually knows what he's doing. You know, again, if you're intelligent, man, you're just not buying this rubbish. Whenever he does a press conference, I don't even watch it. The guy just chats nonsense. I ain't got time for it, man. How would you feel if United sold Xerxes and Ahmad? It's not going to happen, JKM. Ahmad and Xerxes are not getting sold. What needs to happen is this manager to go, and a manager that wants to play football just comes in and plays them. It's as simple as that. Man United, the last managers that Man United keep having, Ten Hag, Amorim, don't want to play football. They like athletes. This is the problem. Gav, stop streaming once you hit 30 likes. Challenge set. Never. But big up though. Man City fans just spoilt fucks. Now they're now demanding for... Yeah, listen. Donnarumma, I think they're going to get him. Because Edison, I think, is in talks with Galatasaray. So, it's looking that way. Yeah, Wayne, you're right, man. Bruno does act like a class monitor. Whoever teacher tells them they are in charge. He does. He does act like that. The guy is... but again, I don't really blame Bruno. I blame whoever's making him feel like he can be that kind of player. This is the problem. This is the problem. Boris says Bruno is not an 8, he's a 10. If you see all the mistakes leading to our goals are from Bruno. But again, Boris is Isaac. Bruno's not a 10. I don't know why people think Bruno's a 10. He's not. There's a reason why Bruno has a tattoo of number 8 on his hand and wears number 8. He's a number 8. He's a box-to-box number 8. What happened is that when he come to Man United, United played him as a free role. And where they played him was a number 10 position. But he's not a number 10. He's a number 8. He's a box-to-box midfielder. So people that think Bruno's a number 10, he's not a number 10. He might start in positions when he played under Ten Hag as a number 10. But he's not a number 10. He never has been a number 10. If I tell you some number 10s, the likes of Riquelme, Pablo Aimar, Totti, Del Piero, Bergkamp, Ronaldinho, Zidane. These guys are number 10s. Mesut Ozil, number 10s. Bruno's no number 10. He's a number 8. He is. Number 8, man. Yeah, big up DXR, bro. No worries, man. No worries. Big up yourself. We're going to wrap up now anyway. But guys, listen up. Big up yourselves for coming on each and every time. 6th stream, 28 likes in here. Again, if you haven't smashed the like button, make sure you do. And as always, make sure you sub to the channel as well. And again, make sure you keep supporting the channel. And if you disagree with what I've said, fair enough, man. Let me know in the comments afterwards. But yeah, I had to vent, man, because I can just see this coming. And as I said, He's got Grimsby, which I don't give a shit about, really. As I said, the youth team should be beating Grimsby. But he's got Burnley at home, Man City away, Chelsea at home. He has to get 9 points for me. Anything less than 9 points. And again, it's going to be a tough odds. But for me, you can't be getting beat by Arsenal, drawing to Fulham, and then expecting to beat Burnley, and then really and truly, if you get 2 draws against City and Chelsea, what, 4 points from those for 5 games? No way. No way. That's not going to settle for me. So, yeah, listen, he's got a lot to do, man. But as I said, guys, big up yourselves for coming through each and every time. I'm just waiting, guys, for something to drop. So I think I've done a live, a sit-down podcast that I'm waiting for someone to send over to me. So make sure you guys keep an eye on my schedule to see when that drops. And as I say, it's quite interesting. It's like a sit-down one where, something a bit different to what I've done before. But yeah, make sure you guys keep an eye when that comes out. And as I said, it's much appreciated you guys supporting the channel. And as always, make sure you sub to the channel. Make sure you smash the like button as well. And guys, I'm not back tomorrow, so that time again, you know, MOT and service on your car. So I'm not going to be back tomorrow morning, but I should be back at 6 p.m. tomorrow with Jonas. So yeah, make sure you guys tune in at 6 p.m. Obviously, as always, check on the schedule to see when we go live as well. And yeah, big up yourselves for supporting the channel each and every time. But yeah, I'm going to catch you guys tomorrow at 6. Take it easy.